Aged 7, I wrote to Father Christmas and told him I would much rather have a map of Saxon Britain than the roller skates I feared he was getting me.
All right, Lee's team.
Wow.
Well, you know him best of all.
That's true. True.
You didn't want roller skates?
No.
Why did you think he was getting your roller skates?
Roller skates were a popular toy around, you know... I'm not saying they're just a toy. Of course, they're I don't know, a sports item, a novelty shoe.
Yeah.
But roller skates were being given, and I hated the thought of them.
What was the attraction of the map?
Well, I'm quite interested in history, and we'd done the Anglo-Saxons at school that term.
Did you get the map?
I did, yes.
Do you still have the map?
No.
Why not?
Because a lot of its analysis of the Anglo-Saxon era has been discredited.
And at 7, you were able to work this out?
In fact, it was a very simplistic view of the way England was then, with these small number of rigidly divided kingdoms, and we just can't know that it was like that.
What are you thinking, Angela?
Yeah, it's the kind of nerdy thing he probably would have done when he was 7, yeah.
I mean, it's plausible, but I don't think it's true.
I am actually 50-50 on this. I think we're going to say... I think it's true. I'm going with Angela.
You're going to say it's true. OK. David, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
I once broke Bob Marley's toilet.
Lee's team.
Wow.
When was this?
This was in the 90s, because must have been about 8.
When did Bob Marley pass away?
Bob Marley passed away in the 80s, but I mean, I just broke his toilet, I didn't.
Oh, yeah, I'm not accusing you of anything.
Yeah.
Where is Bob Marley's toilet?
In Jamaica.
So is his house like a museum now?
Yeah.
You can go around and look around like Graceland.
Yeah, you can have a
go
little look
around the museum and you can use the toilet.
Well, see, that's the... OK, so this is his private toilet.
So it's not for use by...
No, I wasn't meant to be in there.
Right.
I need to go to the toilet badly, and the other toilet was real far away, and I'm drinking, like, a big bottle of water the whole way.
Yeah.
And I'm being really annoying to the tour guide.
Deliberately?
No, just because I was this annoying kid, innit? So, like...
Yeah. Thank God you grew out of that.
Yeah. So as I'm talking and talking, my mum's telling me to shut up, and the tour guide's like, no, he's the future, let him speak. And I kept on asking questions, and then by the end of it, he was like...
What kind of questions were you asking?
I was just like, what's that? Who's that? Where's Bob? You know what I mean?
Are you sure you weren't playing Guess Who?
Yeah. By the end of it, he was like, this kid needs to shut up.
Right.
And then I was like, I need to go to the toilet badly, And I've rushed in, and it's sort of been slippery on the floor. And I was like a real fat kid as well. And I've just gone in, I've hit the toilet, and it's sort of just come off.
What, the Lucy?
Yeah, not the Lucy, the actual toilet freight.
The pedestal.
Yeah, the actual pedestal.
Porcelain bit?
Yeah,
The
the
actual
porcelain.
porcelain
Yeah, it's like shifted round.
Wow.
And as I've tried to get up and I'm slipping and I'm panicking, I've pushed it more and I've broke Bob Marley's toilet.
When he opened the door and you were there in a pool on the floor with a broken toilet, did he still think you were the future?
No, he was so mad. Really? Like, I've never seen a Rasta man not be that chill.
So you're lying on the floor. What did you notice? Did you get up, stand up?
Hey, that was good.
I'm quoting a Bob Marley song for comic effect.
Has anyone been to Jamaica?
What's that got to do with it?
Well, because I want to know if there's a Bob Marley house that you can walk around.
Oh, probably.
Oh, well, that'll do then. Thanks for the evidence.
I think it's true, you know.
What do you think, Victoria?
True.
True?
Yeah, I've gone against myself.
OK, I'll say it's true.
You're going to say it's true? OK. Jamali, truth or lie?
It is true.
Yay!
When an earthquake struck the restaurant I was in, I mistook the shaking people for excitable diners.
Dave?
OK, so where was this restaurant?
It was in Los Angeles.
And when was this?
2019.
So you were a diner in the restaurant?
Yes. I had just flown in that day, and so I was feeling a little bit out of sorts, and the first thing I did was to go and get some food.
Yeah.
And the people who were sitting behind me, like on a banquette, back to back, their food was being brought over, and the food got onto their table, and the seat started going like this. And I thought, oh, They must be hungry like me.
I love the idea that you're going, is that an earthquake or is that just Americans moving?
So you thought the banquette was moving because the people behind you were wiggling with excitement at the sight of food?
Because basically I'd done the same when my food
Yeah, and
came
you
over.
were a bit jet-lagged, hungry, sitting there, I'm eating these, wiggle, 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 oh, they're excited, their food's arrived. And then, when
she said it with a bit more pizzazz, though.
Yeah. When did you... trying to encapsulate...
Wiggle, 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 there's an earthquake.
I'm trying to encapsulate...
I know what happened. I'm only doing it for the money nowadays. Let's get on with it. It's 50-50. We'll say lie. I don't care. I wanted to be an actor.
No, I was trying to encapsulate the jet-lagged feeling, and obviously some of my own personal and professional disappointment leaked out, as it does in all of my work. So you feel the wiggling, oh, they're excited for their food, you carry on eating. When do you discover that something else has happened?
When I got back to my hotel and looked at social media.
Oh, really?
So hang on, even in the restaurant, you're in the restaurant, there's lots of people wobbling around everywhere.
And there weren't any gasps of surprise or fear?
I just assumed there were gasps from the loud Americans who were getting some fried chicken behind me.
You see, but I'm with Jenny. See, I get excited when food's coming out at a restaurant. I go, hey.
Really?
Bobby.
Do you really go?
I do. When I see it,
I just have visions of Ant and Dec going,
keep it down, Stephen.
So what are you going to say, David? What does your team think?
I think this is definitely true, because if it were not true, she would have made it bigger and she would have said she'd lost a heel or something like that.
Is that your version of making things bigger? We're doing a movie about an earthquake. We need it to be big. What about losing a heel? Perfect. Write it down.
Are you convinced by
I'm
Deborah's
convinced by
argument?
Deborah.
Well, I think it's probably true.
Let's find out. Jenny, was it true or were you telling us a lie?
That was a total true fact.
It once took me 5.5 hours to cook macaroni cheese.
Please, Steve.
Is it homemade macaroni, as in you made the pasta?
No. It was dried macaroni.
How long does it take to boil macaroni? 10
It's
minutes?
not just
10,
boil
12.
it. There's more to it. There's more to it than that.
There's a lot to making macaroni cheese.
There's
It's
more-
not just boil. You have to, you know, make a roux, which is like a white sauce. But be careful because it goes lumpy and.
5.5 hours long.
You may be helping him out here, Joe.
Oh,
if indeed this is like, how do you make macaroni cheese?
You make
Joe?
a roux and.
What's a
it can
roux?
go
Tell us
lumpy and.
How would you make a roux? And don't say you had it off with a kangaroo.
We could have a little Joey, couldn't we?
That's good. Oh, that's very good.
Don't need your pity. I do a bit, but I was following a recipe, so I remember it had 4 different types of cheese in it, but it got.
Do you remember the types of cheese?
Mozzarella. Not really.
All right, let me rephrase the question. Could you name any cheeses?
Was there a specific occasion? Was this for someone's birthday party or your birthday or...
We were on holiday.
Who's we?
It is my family and another family.
And is it your job to cook for everybody?
Not after that, no. The whole thing got held up because somebody stole some of the cheese.
And who took your cheese?
Well, I can't remember who it was, but I do remember that actually at that stage I said I'm not doing the meal at all anymore. So...
Where were you, Joe? Where did this happen?
Cornwall.
So somebody came and took one of the cheeses and you needed 4 cheeses?
I had 4 and I had it all laid out because I like to get everything kind of meticulously ready. So sort of 2 hours in, all I'd really done was get all the ingredients into... I think I've seen too many cooking shows, so I like to have all the ingredients in all the special pots.
All pre-weighed on a saucer and all that.
All pre-weighed, yes.
But is anything being cooked at this point? Is the macaroni on?
No, nothing, no.
You haven't cooked anything. All you've done is lay out the ingredients.
Also, there was another delay, which was that I had to move the car, so...
Was it in the kitchen?
No, it was parked. It was blocking one of the neighbours'...
arteries.
Drives or something, so I had to go and move the car, and then I couldn't find anywhere else to park because it was these like really, really narrow lanes. So I was just getting further and further and further away from where my family were.
Why couldn't someone else park it for you?
Because of insurance and, you know...
Yeah, but no one would have seen you. You're in the middle of nowhere.
They wouldn't have seen it, but, you know, you can't muck around.
Joe, what are you thinking?
I think it could be true.
Really?
So I read something the other day, and this woman was complaining about her son. She said she asked him to empty the dishwasher, which is the one thing she asks him to do every day. And she timed him, and it took 4.5 hours. And that was because he was just kind of teenager-ish. At one point, apparently, he said, "I've just got to go and have a rest." So I think it's possible.
Joe strikes me as a man that's not in a rush. I would like to be with him in a fire. Bobby?
Well, let's lean towards true.
OK, well, say true.
You're going to say it's true? OK.
Yeah.
Joe, was that the truth or was it a lie?
Well, it's true.
I once did a parachute jump just because I fancied the instructor.
David's team.
When was this?
It was in the 70s.
So how did you meet this instructor that you fancied?
Oh, because a family member was a skydiver. And in the process of watching him skydive, I met the instructor and felt an immediate magnetic attraction.
So this...
I mean, I thought you were going to say I fell for him.
I did, but I'm a poet, you know, so I like to embellish.
Oh, that's true. I just like to go for little puns.
Oh, I fell for it.
I fell for it.
Oh, see, I got sorry, Lee. Sorry, I'm not used to you see.
Describe him to us then. What was it about this man that was so attractive?
He wore a lot of straps.
Oh, hello. All right. And what is it about a man in straps that you like?
Well, I don't know. There's something sort of dark about straps, aren't there? You know, he had these straps and the sort of around the groins and everything, and he did it.
I wasn't expecting this, Pam. I'll be very honest.
Do you recall his name, Pam?
Yeah, Doug. Doug. This is the Vale of the White Horse accent, of which I'm exceedingly proud.
So how did you take it a step further
Well,
with him?
I volunteered to learn how to parachute jump.
Yeah. And did you have to have straps as well?
Oh, indeed, I did.
Are you strapped to Doug as well? Because I've done this.
No.
And you're on the front. Well, I was, like a little baby in a papoose.
Oh, no, this was
No, Lee, it was lovely. I've never felt so safe.
Which way were you facing?
Or facing away.
All right.
So, listen, this is for wimps. This I did alone.
You weren't strapped to Doug?
No, I was not strapped to Doug.
I would have thought that would have been the whole point.
Well, no, but I didn't find out until he hit me on the shoulder and said, go.
The old romantic. So what's the time scale of this? There's the day you go with a family member who's a skydiver. What was your plan that day? That you were just going to go up in the aeroplane that your family member was going to jump out of?
I wasn't going to go up in the airplane. I was just going to go and watch. And then I noticed the instructor reclining in the hangar, looking steamy.
Did you talk to him much?
Yeah, I did. I said, how do you get into this line of business?
Nice.
Yeah, with the classic head wobble of seduction.
Did you have lessons with Doug?
Yeah.
Oh, tell us about those. Was he a West Country person?
No,
Where
he
was he
wasn't. I don't know where it came from.
Well, what was his voice?
Oh, it was received English.
It was one of these. Now, you listen to me, Ayres.
That's right. He said, oh,
Let me just tighten this strap. Hang on, let me get this one. That's better. Let's stop the blood. Now.
He didn't say anything lascivious like that. He was a perfect gentleman with beautiful received English, and he said, I think you're going to enjoy this.
Well, your heart was aflutter at that, wasn't it? All right, so what are we thinking? Richard, what do you think of this?
It sounds reasonable to me.
At first, I didn't believe it, but you were going, look, this is just a thing that happened. Like, you just wanted to get your story out.
So what's it going to be, David?
That's definitely true.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in your mind.
No doubt in my mind. I can picture it entirely.
All right, they're saying it's true. So, Pam, was it true or was it a lie?
My story was true.
Last year, I had such bad toothache, I popped my Christmas dinner in a blender and drank it through a straw.
Please, team.
When you say you put your Christmas dinner in, what exactly did you put in the blender?
So I am from New Zealand, so Christmas...
You'd never have thought so.
Rob, you cheeky man.
There's a little pause before ma'am.
It was basically meats and salads and...
Do you have the traditional turkey in New Zealand?
No. Turkeys don't exist in New Zealand.
I never knew that.
I had a really bad... I had a root canal. I don't know if anyone else had a root canal, and you can get dry rot, like with dry socket, dry rot is what cupboards get. Dry.
I will interrupt you if it gets too arousing.
So I got dry socket.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So it's very bad with root canals, and so I couldn't chew, I couldn't eat anything.
But how much of it did you eat?
Not too much, and it was quite thick to get through the straw. I mean, it was quite disgusting.
What's it going to be?
I think it's plausible, because you can put all sorts of things in a blender and make a smoothie out of them.
What do you think, Ardle?
I think it's probably true.
You think it's true? OK, despite the fact that I think they're wrong, I'm going to go with my teammates.
Rose, truth or a lie?
It was a lie.
Sorry.
During lockdown, I cut my son's hair so badly, I gave him £20 to tell his dad he'd done it himself.
Whoa. David's team.
So what went wrong with the styling?
I am really bad with cutting my son's hair. I've tried a few times with different kids, and...
All your own, though.
yeah.
What was the look you were going for?
Just to make it shorter, just a trim.
And if you had to pick between, say, mine and Rob's and Lee's, what would have been the dream style?
Yeah. You're looking like a woman who needs more options.
Well, no, I was thinking none of you really have the same hair as Ray. It's almost like quite surfer dude at the moment, and I just tried to give it so that he could just see again.
Surfer dude? So David?
How did your husband, their dad, react?
So he guessed pretty quickly, but I think Richard mainly found it funny, luckily.
Oh, OK.
That's lucky, because it's pretty awful.
What, the bribery bit?
Well, all of it, actually.
I mean, you imagine that, taking money for lying. Who among us do that?
So what's it going to be?
I think true, because as someone who uses bribery regularly in parenting, I would say that's completely plausible.
I can completely believe the story. I just think you've priced yourself wrong. It's too much. Well, you've got to be thinking chocolate. That's the thing. Because the thing about chocolate is that children really like it, but it's incredibly inexpensive. My parents brought me up to believe that a chocolate digestive cost about £75.
All right, so what's it going to be?
I think it's a lie. I
don't think she would do that. It's true. I think we're going to go lie.
Sophie, truth or lie?
Luckily, I was lying.
Whenever I'm in the recording studio, I can only rap in complete darkness.
Well, David, what are the chances that somebody else has the same method as you? What do you think?
Complete darkness?
Complete, absolute nothing on.
Why?
Because I don't like anybody to see me when I'm performing. It's a bit weird, actually, when I think about it.
But you've got, like, 60 million views on YouTube.
It's different, though, because it's just me and the cameraman. And then, you know, when you get into the studio, it's quite intimate.
I feel anxious about the fire escape light. What do you do about that?
Classic Mike. She's talking rap, you're talking health and safety.
So let me ask you this, then. If it's total darkness, you can't be looking at any lyric... I was going to say sheet music, but I suppose if you're rapping, it's not that.
I'm so sorry about my granddad.
You can't be looking at lyrics. Have you memorised the lyrics, or are you improvising the lyrics?
Sometimes I will be prepared, so I've already written the lyrics in my phone.
Well, for your generation, the phone is a companion, isn't it? It's more than it is for Lee, which is sort of a lifeline. It's a... It's a friend, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Have you got the red button in the bathroom now as well?
Yes. And what about the other musicians in the studio?
So there was a time when I randomly ended up in studio with Peter Andre.
Peter Andre?
Yeah, so weird, isn't it?
Wow.
And
But his orange glow just lit up the room.
but he genuinely was saying, you know, what are you doing? I was like, this is the only way I can record.
So how did it come about?
So that came about because I was on the Celebrity Circle.
Lisa, for the sake of older guys like Lee, just explain the circle and what it was.
Right, so the Celebrity Circle, it was basically... It's like a text screen, and you can only
So,
text...
Rob, can you explain what texting is?
It's just that little thing on your phone when you
For
press
Lee,
send.
can you explain what a screen is? It's not that thing they bring round the bed when they change your dressing. It's a different sort.
For Rob, could you just speak a bit louder?
For Lee, could you not make any sudden movements?
Could you take Rob to the toilet?
What are we thinking? Philippa, this is one for a psychotherapist to unpick.
It's a lie, no.
You don't believe it?
No.
Because I believe it.
And you're quite excited by it
Yeah,
as
no,
well,
no,
which is nice to see.
What do you think?
I think she's playing you like a fiddle. I think lie.
I'm very comfortable with this scenario because if you both think it's a lie, I'm not going to overrule you. We'll go lie, but I'll say, oh, actually, I thought it was true, and that is win-win. We are going to say lie.
All right, let's find out. Lady Leisha, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It was the truth.
Vindication!
Congratulations. My husband and I have agreed that the hour between 7 and 8 p.m. is the only time we're allowed to gripe about our various aches and pains. We call this hour the moan zone.
David's team.
Between 7 and 8 p.m.
Yes.
Is that the time you find the aches and pains are most noticeable?
No, it's because it's when the one show's on.
What specific aches and pains, Joe? Because I will say you've been rather sprightly this evening.
Don't be patronising, Rob.
You did say that like you were playing Monopoly with your grandmother.
So, what are the aches and pains, Joe?
Well, I've got a bad knee.
I've got a bad knee, actually, as well.
Have you?
Yeah.
What's the cause of your bad knee,
I don't...
David?
Life, you know.
Oh, life, OK.
The inferior design technique of the creator, should there be one. Anyway, this isn't about me.
Joe, what happens if you moan outside of those hours? Like, do you have, like, a moan jar where you...
No, the other one can say anything they like to the other one to shut them up.
Oh.
Including the C word. Coco.
In the hour, is it you first, 7 till 7:30, your aches and pains, and then his at 7:30 to 8, or do you alternate? I'll see your knee, I raise you, you know, a coccyx.
This is what David's like when he's chatting up women.
Well, it's not that formal, really.
Is this ringing any bells with you, Lee? I mean, in your household?
I would like to get to that age where you can do the chair where you press the button and it helps you up. Oh, that's nice. Then, you know what I mean?
I tell you what, this is going to steal all those younger viewers back from Netflix, isn't it?
How old are you, Bobby?
I'm a prime number. One more than a square number, but it's a prime number.
Oh, in that case, you are... Wait, I've got this. You are 36.
Yeah.
Oh, you are a prime number?
I am a prime number, yeah.
37.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Yes. I mean...
10 points Gryffindor.
Thank you.
Joe can't believe that Lee has got the applause when she said 37 6 times.
In school,
37.
We get clever students, we know they've got it correct. Like, in Parents' Evening, I would say Joe's doing really well, but sometimes students like Lee, we've got to encourage them in the lesson.
Oh, I like you, Bobby. All right, so what do we think? Joe, what are you thinking about this?
Well, it sounds true to me. I mean, I think it's a bit weird that we wouldn't believe other people.
Yeah.
Right, we may be having a bit of a problem here this evening.
OK.
Sam, what about you?
I quite like it. It's very constructive. I think it could be true.
I think we're going to go with true.
You're saying true. OK, Joe, was it true or was it a lie?
It is a lie.
Oh.
For 3 months, I shared a flat with a monkey.
David's team.
When was this?
Early 70s.
And was it just you and the monkey, or were there other flatmates?
Just me and the monkey. It was in Amsterdam. The monkey's apartment was in Amsterdam, and I was...
So it was the monkey's apartment?
When he says apartment, he means in the zoo.
What was the monkey's name, John?
Charlie.
Charlie. And why only 3 months? Did the monkey kick you out?
The thing was, I was kind of monkey-sitting this animal.
What did he look like?
Oh, he was exquisite. Look, most of you are probably thinking, wow, what fun. You know. And I don't blame you. Sometimes there are things in life that are a disappointment, but living with a monkey isn't one of them.
What did he eat?
He wanted what you were eating.
Oh.
Really?
Which at the time was a lot of chips.
Could he do any tricks at all? Could he do any
Tricks? He was full of them.
What do you want? He'd have the guillotine, he'd have the sword the lady in half, he had the lot.
I used to take him to the park with one of those extendable dog leashes, you know, where you
So they had them in the early 70s.
No, they had them. But the point is, you know, that when I extended the leash, it would run up into the nearest tree. So I would be stood for ages, you know, with my arm extended upward into a
And
tree.
it then looks like you're taking your tree for a walk.
So when you had to go, like, and meet this monkey, how long was the owner there with you?
Yes, of course, I did have to go for a kind of audition. He didn't want to leave his precious pal with any old schmuck.
What are you looking at me for?
You know,
How did you ace the audition?
Well, we seemed to hit it off.
You and the...
Although we did get off to a bad start, actually.
Yeah.
I went round to his apartment to audition. There was one empty chair, but it was occupied by the monkey, which was curled up asleep in this chair. So I picked it up thinking it was a cat. And then it went rigid. I could feel its ribs suddenly, and all of its muscles tightened up. And it shrieked once and once only, but for about 10 minutes. It was like it was plugged into the mains. Anyway, I threw it as if 'twere a cat.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they land on the feet.
Yeah.
But he's a monkey, he didn't land on his feet. He landed in an ungainly heap. And then it kind of scuttled away, looking back over its shoulder in my direction, in a real accusatory manner.
So, John, given you were so close after 3 months, it must be very hard to say goodbye.
It was a hell of a wrench.
Yeah.
Monkey wrench.
A hell of a wrench.
Chris, what are you thinking about this?
We could make anything up and it would sound true, but this sounds so plausible.
What about you, Judy?
If we're being honest, out of all of us sitting on here, if there was one person that we could think of that lived with a monkey for 3 months, who do you think that would be?
Oh, yes.
But once you've discounted David, who would it then be?
I think it's true.
You say true?
100%.
OK,
True.
100%. This ain't true. So, John, living with a monkey in Amsterdam, truth or lie?
They got me rumbled, it's true.
Once, while staying in a hotel, I was accused of keeping a baby in my suitcase.
Wow,
this
programme's taken a turn.
There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, keeping a baby...
Good one. Hey, very good, very good. It's nice to have proper jokes.
Keeping a baby in a suitcase.
Yeah.
So how did this accusation come about?
I was in a hotel foyer and someone said, "Sir, there's a baby in your suitcase." This is a bit crazy, but I have an alarm.
Yeah.
And it wakes me up in the morning so I don't miss my flight. And so this particular time, I'd woken up early.
OK.
Yeah.
And so the alarm didn't go off and I didn't switch it off.
Oh, I see. And what is the sound?
It's a crying baby.
So you've chosen... Do you have children? You have children of your own?
No, I don't have any.
You have to think about that then. So no children, but you've decided to do is get the worst part of having children and make it your alarm clock.
Yeah, well, that's because my friends who have kids have told me that that sound will definitely wake you up.
Oh, I see.
So it was still in your suitcase, and then it went off, and the crying appeared to come from the suitcase.
Did you have to open the suitcase to prove that it wasn't a baby?
At some point, yes.
Did you?
Of course he did. Can you imagine security going, is that a baby in there? No. All right, then we'll leave it.
Jason, what do you think?
I sort of think it's true. It's so crazy.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of at that same point that it's so crazy that it might be true.
Yeah, it might be true. I mean, I don't understand why the noise of a baby crying rather than a normal alarm.
Well, think about it this way.
Yeah.
The same app gives you, like, tons of sort of sounds to go to sleep to as well.
Why is he trying to convince us?
Well, yes, he's trying to convince us.
He's trying to convince us. We were already going towards truth.
That's the obvious sign of a lie when people want you to believe it.
Come on, what's it going to be?
How I'm baffled.
You're a little thrown, aren't you?
This is, I think of it as a little throne. Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice.
I just think true.
You still think true, despite the last-minute attempt to convince?
Yeah, I think it's double bluffing.
Still true?
I think lie.
You've gone over.
Sorry.
It's a I'm going to go true.
How upsetting will that be for Bryony? You're essentially calling her a liar.
I'm not calling her a liar. I'm calling her an idiot.
All right, Eloiso, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It is the absolute truth.
I once survived being lost in a forest by eating a whole tin of cat food.
Grease team.
Wow. When was this?
1996.
How did you open the tin of cat food?
I smashed it on a rock. I smashed it on a nearby rock, and I had to keep smashing it like I was like early man.
And what did you use to eat it?
My fingers.
Oh.
Why did you have cat food?
Well, she'd already eaten the cat.
Let's wind back a bit. Are we in Australia?
Yes.
Which part of Australia are we in?
It was about 7 hours out of Sydney. I was at university, and I went to a college where there was this thing where they would do pranks on the freshers, and then a group of older students dumped us in the forest.
This is quite traumatic.
Like the Hunger Games, isn't it?
But with cat food.
They gave you the cat food?
They gave us cat food.
To survive off?
To survive.
How long before you start eating cat food, then? How long have you been in the forest?
But it was a couple of hours.
You're eating cat food after 2 hours?
I was expecting this to be in at least like days even, maybe, like a couple of days.
Day 4. That would be my estimate. Hour 2, and we give in.
How long were they intending to keep you in this forest?
We had to find a way back. We had to hitchhike back to the city. Well, we tried walking, but Australia's much, much larger than
it is on my map at home.
That's right.
Wow. What do you think, Pam?
I think it's true. Yep, I do.
What about you, Kyle?
No, I don't believe it. No.
Lee?
Yeah, she's got the eyes of a traumatised woman. I'll go with Pam and say it's true.
All right. Sarah, is it true or is it a lie?
That story.
Yes.
It's true.
Well, as people know, I'm blind, so please be my eyes, Davy boy.
OK. I once had to call 999 for a woman who couldn't speak English. Unfortunately, I couldn't see what the emergency was, and she couldn't describe it.
Please do.
How long ago was this?
This is going back quite some time, Caroline.
Yeah.
Let's say 20 years.
Were you with her, or was this a stranger?
No, this was a stranger. I mean, she literally didn't speak any English.
What noises was she making that led you to believe she needed help?
I was walking along, minding my own business, when from out of a house, a woman came screaming and grabbed me, and she dragged me through the house into the back room of the house, and in the room there was a massive hole.
To be honest with you, Chris, this just sounds like a Tinder date, to be real.
I could see a little bit back then, just to give you some context. So my eyesight has deteriorated. So there was a massive hole and there was a stepladder on its side, and I deduced that someone fell off the ladder and went through the hole.
Had the fall created the hole, or was the hole already there?
Well, then it'd be in the shape of the guy.
That's true.
Very
good point.
That is right.
I forgot about the rules of Tom and Jerry.
So I phoned 999 and I explained to the person on the end that my eyesight was very, very poor and I wasn't able to tell what was at the bottom of the hole. And so the person asked on the phone whether I was with anybody that could see who was at the bottom of the hole. And I said, yeah, but you're not going to believe this.
So what happened?
I said I'd imagine what you need is a fire engine and an ambulance.
And also, I guess you didn't know the address.
I told her, I don't know the address, but I can tell you to get here from the Waitrose. She suggested that I take the foreign lady outside to the road sign and see if I could get her to spell it for me. And so through a series of enthusiastic mimes, I managed to gesture to her that I needed her to read me the letters on the road sign.
Could you recreate the mime with David as the distressed woman?
I'm doing a distressed face.
Oh, well, that helps.
Yeah.
So I gestured down that I can't see the road sign. You have to read the road sign and me. So she said, B, and I'd say to the lady on the phone, B, and I'd say, I think that was an E. I'd go,
You'd accidentally stood on her toe.
We got through the road name and she was able to send the fire brigade and the ambulance to the right road, and through some miracle of human biology, he was still alive after all the time it took me to get to the bottom of this problem.
Caroline, what are you thinking?
It's not adding up for me. If someone comes shouting at you, you just run past. Someone else will sort it out.
And how long have you been working with the Samaritans?
I think it's a fake story, this. On account of this, I can't think why the fire brigade would have any kind of kit that dealt with, descending into an abyss. I mean, they usually go from the ground up. They've got ladders.
I do think, John, it's possible to take a ladder... and I don't know if you can get your head around this, but put it down...
I can't see it. How would that... I can't see that.
John, if you think that the fire brigade isn't equipped or indeed willing to deal with crises that happen below ground level, what emergency service is?
Yeah.
Is there a fourth one?
Mountain rescue.
Mountain rescue.
Mountain rescue.
Thank you.
On the contrary, they're even more obsessed with upwardsness.
No.
With a mountain rescue, we never go down.
No. There's no point going up there and going, we've saved you, but you can make your own way back down. So you're saying lie.
Lie.
They're both saying lie. I'll go with my teammates.
You're going to go with the team.
Yeah.
They're saying it's a lie. Chris, truth or lie?
I honestly had to get her to spell the road sign out to me, guys. True.
On a dark winter's night, I once broke into the garden of the local witch's house and was shocked by what I found there.
David, Steve.
OK, at what point...
There's a lot of questions, isn't there?
At what point in your life did this happen?
I'm going to guess somewhere between when I was 11 and 13.
12?
I'm going to say 12.
And you say the local witch's house. What do you mean by that?
I mean, this is a very distant memory now.
OK.
It was the house not very far from me where all the kids said that the witch lived.
And who did live there?
I don't know their name.
Right.
I'll call them Mary Candles. It had hedges at the front, it's like uncut hedges, a front gate covered with hedging, and it said on the front gate, it said simply the words, "No thanks."
No, really?
So that's quite creepy, isn't it?
Can I ask a question? You started that with saying you were shocked by what you saw there.
Yes.
What did you...
Yes, shocked by what I found there.
What did you find there?
I'm not comfortable with telling you that just yet. Sorry, I'm not.
This is going so far, it's got to be a lie, isn't it?
Let me just say, it does not have to be a lie. Whatever he says, however absurd, it could still be true. However plausible, it could still be a lie. It's just, essentially, what we are doing for this section is entirely futile. We will talk for a bit, then we will guess, then it will be over.
So how did you come to go into this house? Who were you with?
I was with, what's he called? I was with Ken Numbers. I've changed it, yeah. Ronnie Calculator's son. The vibe is, it's very unkempt, it's the gardening, because as we all know, Lee, witches hate gardening, wizards hate plumbing. Right? So we knew it was a female residence.
Right. So you'd never seen Mary Candles, but you were only speculating it must be a witch rather than a wizard because it was an unkempt garden with no sign of deficient plumbing.
Exactly. We wanted to be the first people who said, no, we penetrated, its boundaries.
Yeah.
We went into the front lawn, down a gate to the side, past the bins, past the back door, and then to the window where there was a light on, a big picture window, looked inside, and that's when we saw this extraordinary sight. Well, extraordinary to us as 12-year-olds.
What was it? You've got to say.
It was a tiny, tiny horse. And I'm not saying it was watching television, that was all that was in the room, was a tiny horse and a television on. I did get in the house.
You got in the house?
Yes, Mrs. Candles came out.
Right.
Yes, and she said to me, you're one of the Mortimer boys, aren't you?
Were you?
Yeah. So Ken said. And she said, would you like to come in and see the horse? And she took us in, and it stank of paraffin. It was hot.
That horse?
Hot. No, the house.
I thought about the horse stunk of paraffin.
The horse did stink, actually.
Did he?
Yeah.
Of?
Meat, hot meat. As we were looking at the horse, I always remember this, she came in, and she had a toilet seat in her hand. And she said, if I give you some money, do you think you could get rid of this for me?
What did you do with it?
Just threw it on our way home, just threw it somewhere else, I imagine.
Did she say what the horse's name was?
Max.
Max?
Yes.
Yeah.
You'd have thought minimum.
All right, well, now, Suggs, what are you thinking about this?
I mean, it's so preposterous, but David's flung me by saying this is the way he carries on anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, same.
I mean, but no, I'm saying lie, of course.
You say it's a lie.
It was when you said the horse smelt like hot meat.
Well, do you remember the detail of the paraffin heaters?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
We're talking 40, maybe 50 degrees there with those old...
40 or 50 degrees centigrade. So we're talking like the temperature of the desert in Saudi Arabia.
Did you ever see Mary Candles again?
No, never.
Never saw her again?
Never saw her again.
She probably melted in that heat.
All right, what are you going to say then, David?
Do we think lie?
I think it's a lie. I think it's a lie.
I think it is a lie.
All right, they're saying it's a lie. Now, we should bear in mind that when it comes to Bob, David has a very poor track record. Let's see if he can be better tonight. Bob, truth or lie?
I was telling the truth.
I wish everyone was as excited about being on the show as Rosie.
Last month, I got a tattoo of Lee Mack. You say I can mention it on the show.
Where is the tattoo?
It's just my shoulder.
Was it your first tattoo?
No, it's my second.
What's the first one?
She's got Rob and David on each boot.
So when you went into the tattoo parlour and said, please, can I have a tattoo of Lee Mack? What was the reaction from the tattooist?
She just laughed.
Did she know who Lee was?
Yeah.
Sorry, Victoria, did you just ask that?
But why Lee? I mean, look at David.
Exactly.
Can I ask how much it cost?
300 quid.
300 quid? Is that all?
Yeah.
300 quid for my face? I'd have happily put some ink on my face and run into your back for that price.
Are you going to turn it into something else?
No,
later?
she's happy with Lee Mack, thank you very much.
No.
Oh, so you are keeping the Lee Mack tattoo?
Yeah.
You're not lasering it off?
Lee, I really like you.
Oh. Listen, it's very nice of you to say, but you did open up by saying I only did it because I had something to say on the show. But thank you, that's nice. I like you, but I'm not committing it to ink. I haven't got any tattoos on my body. David, from the neck down, is covered in them.
Yeah. Mainly former Prime Ministers, though.
So what are you thinking, Victoria?
I don't think she'd want a tattoo of Lee Mack. I don't think anyone... I mean... I don't think anyone would go that far.
I disagree. The bit I know about Rosie, I'm not saying she would do me, but I can imagine her just doing it for a laugh. Me, unusual choice. I
think
admit.
that's it. That's the bottom line, isn't it? I've got one of just literally a raw potato that I don't think is as weird as having one of you. In fact, I was offered you in the tattoo shop and I said, no, I'll have a potato.
What do we think, truth or lie?
Obviously, I want it to be true.
Can't believe your ego is letting you even think about this for a second.
You know, I'm a good-looking lad and... I don't know.
Lee, it's not true, mate.
I think it might be. OK, it's obviously a lie, but I wish it was true. But do you know what, Rosie? Thanks for even thinking of it.
You're going to say it's a lie?
Yeah.
OK, Rosie, was it a lie or was it, in fact, true?
Oh, my God.
It is. Actually...
It's going to be true.
That's you.
Yes. Thank goodness it's a lie. Rosie didn't get a tattoo of Lee Mack.
It's not a bad idea, though.
Oh, it's the worst idea in the world. Why would I do that?
I am sat here. Well, do you know what, Rosie? Do you know what I do when I leave this studio? I get your face removed from my back. Last year, after getting lost on a ramble, I got so thirsty I was forced to drink puddle water, which I purified by filtering through my hiking sock.
David's team.
Right, where were you hiking?
I was hiking in Scotland.
At what time of year?
This will have been just when it was allowed.
OK. Whereabouts in Scotland?
It was in the Highlands.
How long had you been walking?
Since I was about 2.
That day, on this particular recreational walk?
Oh, I've been walking for about 2 hours.
And were you on your own or was anyone with you?
No, I was definitely on my own.
You were walking on your own
I know,
in the
I was there.
Highlands of Scotland?
I wasn't walking on my own when I started the walk.
Oh, they'd given you the slip.
Correct. No, we'd gone our separate ways. They had the water and I'd got lost.
Who are they?
They were my wife and another couple we were hiking with.
Why would they leave you water-free?
They didn't leave me. We did that thing
many reasons. Because his wife spotted an opportunity that may never come her way again. And I admire her for seizing it.
I needed the toilet, so I went off and I went round the corner and just lost my bearings.
Describe the terrain.
Yeah.
Rain were like really heavy.
Well, that's no reason to drink puddle water then.
Exactly. Correct. No. The terrain was I would describe as rugged and arid.
you want to go to the loo.
I'm all right, thanks. You know, it's like you're walking. I'm a bit older than my wife. I'm tired. She's a little bit further ahead talking to her friend's husband, actually. And she... Anyway, it doesn't matter. I thought, I'm a bit tired. And I said, I'm just going to... One sec. And I sort of stepped... I was literally just stepped behind for a second.
You stepped behind a tree and then became so disorientated.
No.
Okay, yeah.
So I have a wee, right?
Yeah.
And then that's when I heard what I thought was a kookaburra.
In Scotland?
What?
In Scotland.
The emphasis on the word thought.
Right.
I thought I heard a kookaburra, so I walked just a few steps, not many. Picture the scene. I'm walking. I'm looking round like this. There's no bird. I turn back. Wait a minute. Which tree did I wee behind? Was it that one or was it that one? Well, it was easy to tell. It was that one. So I got a bit confused for a sec, and then I went, and then before you know it, game over.
Completely
I'm now
lost.
walking, and I'm panicking, and I should point out that I'm already very dehydrated. I wish I hadn't had that wee. It could have helped somehow. But I had it. I was now running on empty.
And you want a drink?
Yes.
There's no drink to be had.
There's nothing. And I learnt the #1 rule when I watched a film once, which is don't wait until you're thirsty.
So what do? You find a puddle?
I come across a puddle.
But you don't tend to find puddles in an
but what I
arid
didn't
setting.
realise, I was back at the tree. No, I'd come across it. It was in a bit of shade. Maybe it was some condensation that had started to come down. But there was definitely a puddle. I was there, Rob. You weren't.
So how did you go? You said you did it through your sock. Is that
Hiking
right?
sock.
Hiking sock.
Yes.
Sweaty, woolen, gnarled.
Yeah, but she's good with the kids. That doesn't make sense. she wasn't even with me, so it doesn't make sense.
So you undid...
Sock off.
Took your boots off first, of course.
Of course, so there's only the only way to do it, isn't it? So the boot comes off, the sock comes off, because I remembered the film. If in doubt, drink early and make sure it's purified.
And what was the film?
That was the title of the film.
How dirty?
Well, I mean, it was 18 certificate and there was a bit of...
All right, what are we thinking, Raj?
Rubbish. The whole lot.
This is all made up.
I think you might be dehydrated now.
Oh, yeah, I am.
So, David, I think your team is
I think we're going to go live.
You say it's a lie. Well, OK. Was this true or was it a lie?
It's a lie.
Every day for the last 10 years, I have carried a walnut in my pocket.
David's team.
Why?
Well, because it was given to me in exceptional circumstances.
What were those circumstances?
Oh, I was travelling.
You really didn't expect a second question there, yeah?
I was travelling in Spain with my daughter when a man gave me the walnut.
In exchange for his daughter.
It was a bargain.
So describe the scene.
OK, well, we were hiking in the snow. So there was a blizzard. We hadn't met anyone for days. And this...
So you'd been hiking for days in the snow in Spain?
Yes. The north of Spain, in the mountainous region, David.
Right. Now, these are definitely exceptional circumstances.
Yes. We were hiking in the snow, and this man suddenly materialised from the blizzard, and he was very agitated. And he beckoned me over to him, and he thrust the walnut on me, and he insisted I take it. And my Spanish wasn't great. His Spanish wasn't great. I don't know where he was from. I mean, he was speaking some sort of medieval dialect, and he absolutely insisted I had the walnut.
Do you have the walnut on you now?
Well, I do. I mean, naturally, I do. I change it from pocket to pocket, depending on what I'm wearing.
What you're asking us to believe is that at this moment, about your person is a walnut.
Yeah.
I mean... OK, now, just for clarification.
But picture the scene, David. Like, you haven't seen anyone for days. Someone gives you a walnut.
Oh, we can picture that.
Yeah.
Someone hands you a walnut.
Yeah.
Your first reaction is, why me? Why a walnut? I mean, you can't ignore it. You're going to keep it, and you're going to wait for the meaning to be revealed.
Well, let's look at the man. You say he appeared out of the blizzard.
He disappeared almost as quickly as he appeared. And my daughter was very frightened. She was only 15 at the time.
He gave her a satsuma.
What?
Which, to this day, she carries about her purse.
Have you ever felt tempted to open the walnut?
I've been tempted to do all sorts of things with the walnut, but it's...
Well,
who isn't?
Tempted. We've all been tempted.
No, I'm not yet. I believe
in the
the
walnut.
secret will be revealed.
Well, what are you thinking, Jim? How does this strike you?
I've walked in the Pyrenees. These are the...
I've walked with a Pyrenees.
And I don't think you would go there hiking in the winter, in the blizzard.
Yeah. What do you think, Rose?
I think it's a lie because 10 years is far too long. What do you think?
I think my mind has broken. Because I just totally believe it.
So what's it going to be?
Maybe Adel is eccentric enough to have done that.
I didn't do anything. He gave me the walnut.
No, I'm talking about
yes,
keeping
you did.
a walnut.
You kept it for 10 years. And not just in a box at home. You take it with you everywhere. I mean, now I'm saying it. That sounds very...
OK, it's time to decide.
Oh, I don't know. All right, we're going to go live.
You're saying it's a lie?
We're going to go... No, we're not. But you know we're not. I think it's true. And I look forward to seeing Adel's walnut.
Adel, was it true or was it a lie?
That story is true.
It's true.